Who would want to hit the first question?
Hi, Therese. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
My personal experience when talking to people in a personal but very often professional context is if I open up, the other person will open up as well. This is something I've been doing for many years. It doesn't always work, but it works very often. Is that something that you could confirm or affirm from your point of view?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wholeheartedly believe that the more I work with my own inner self and understand exactly how I open up, like what's going to make me feel comfortable to open up in the most, frankly, dangerous situation. You know, either a critique or with big personalities. Yeah? I've really noticed that if I go in prepared and understanding of myself about what it takes for me to open up in those situations, that the other side tends to blossom right open with me. And honestly, I had so many teachers tell me that while I quietly sat there and going, bullshit. Like, I just didn't believe that. I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that if it started with me, if it began with me, like if I caught myself on the inside and allowed myself to just open up and take a chance to open up, that somehow they would naturally respond on the other side. But I have genuinely found that to be true. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? If you don't, I have questions for you. Yeah?
Hi, thanks. This is a specific one. How old you was when you went to junior high, when you started to rebuild yourself?
As an adult?
Yeah. Yeah.
My second run?
Yes, second round.
I was 31 years old. Yeah. So I was supposed to be a mature adult. I don't know if that places me anywhere. If that, yeah.
Thanks, Therese. I've got a question just about where we are, being in Helsinki in Finland, and the somewhat cliched, broad brushstroke idea of humility in the Finnish character.
Aha.
Maybe it's another whole talk, but is it an asset? Is it a liability? Is it neither? Does it exist?
In my opinion?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Right. So critique Finnish society in 10 words or less. Okay. Well, I honestly, of course, actually do find it to be true. Absolutely. There is a very specific form of humility that occurs in Finnish culture, in my opinion. Yeah? And it does have a lot to do, and I have a lot of respect for this particular force. It has to do with silent tension. Truly. And in Finnish culture, there is, this is my opinion, and no one has to share it, but there is a masterful way at creating a silent tension that does cause an opening, much like what we were talking about. Yeah? That there's an open space like a vacuum. Yeah? On the other hand, I think that any asset, much like I was trying to talk about today, like being a genuine, beautiful, pure, hippie, open, compassionate darling of a perfect, pure soul waiting for openness, right? That has its dark side. And that's true of Finnish culture as well. I mean, there's a way that that quiet tension works against folks as well, and that it can be used as a cloak for anybody's wolf. You know, there's a way that we can use our good qualities to mask the way that we don't yet know and understand our own wolf inside. Deep questions. Can I actually ask if anyone is willing if they know of a way that they practice gaining some kind of humility. Like, is there anything that you do for yourself on a daily basis? Like, is there a special person you check in with, or do you write a journal? Like, what do you do?
I have a lot to say today. I am at a point in my life where I don't know what my next career is going to be. I have 2 behind me, and maybe I'll combine them, maybe I won't combine them. And I sometimes don't know whether this is something to be proud of, or I try to be humble about it, I try to neutralize it in a way. And I go to a lot of networking events to put myself out. And of course, everybody asks you, so what are you doing? So where are you employed? And I say, well, So I experience that almost on a daily basis, because I force myself to go out and talk to people. And yeah, how do I phrase it today? How do I answer today?
Yeah.
So yeah, I say, yeah, well, I used to be a global human resource manager. And then recently I've been a global chef, and I really don't know what I'm going to be next. So I'm playing with the idea every day. So this is where it makes me feel very humble. I kind of do feel that I humiliate myself every day, but it's making me stronger, because each time the question is coming my way, I come with an even better answer and a better approach, and it's something that I force myself to deal with every day. And I'm growing. I feel I'm developing. I'm putting myself out there. Well, take it or leave it, sort of. Eat me up or don't.
Yes.
It's been a good experience from my point of view. I think and this is something that this country has taught me. One of my questions for you was, this country has changed me. Like you, I'm not from here, and like you, I love living here. Is it always easy? No, it isn't. But it is rewarding. So my question for you was, has this country changed you? And yes, in what way?
I mean, of course. I think I would be a little frightened if I stayed somewhere 2.5 years and it didn't touch me. I would check myself, I think, and be like, what are you up to, Therese? You're not letting this place touch you. So yes, I would definitely say Finland has changed me. The thing about the way Finland has touched my humanity is a bit of a surprise, yeah? Because I think we were talking about this a little bit, chatting earlier this morning. There's this thing there's a lot to be ashamed of in being an American, just FYI. Maybe some of you are Americans, I don't know, but if anyone is, I think you know what I'm talking about. Like traveling outside of the US culture, the we're so awesome bubble is forever a lifetime of shock. On the other hand, something that I am deeply proud of, that I use on a regular, actually almost every day here in Finland, is this really funny thing that happens in the US, which is this, much like the critique, this absolute carnal place where everybody is from a different place, everybody's from a different culture, everybody is so sure that their culture is the best. And then there's this like burning out, weeding out process, and you have to get to this middle place. You have to. And it is not perfect, and people are still fighting about it, definitely. Definitely. And there are some sick problems in the US, that's for sure. But there is something about that knowledge, knowing how to do that, and knowing how to show up in my own culture with all of its failings and not shy away from it, and find out about the other side, find out about what's going on in Finland now. That is uniquely American, and it's very useful here in Finland right now. And I think Finnish people are really excited about that kind of change happening here. It's so young and small and new and hot and fiery and scary, but people are truly excited about it. And in that way, Finland has touched me very deeply. Yeah. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm half Finnish, half American. I think there's a humility trap as well, in a way, to the Finnishness. And that's a contrast that, as a child, moving back and forth every few years between the two countries, was something that I noticed. At one point in the US in school, it was very okay to be proud and happy of what you do, but when you came here, it was very important for me to be very humble and know it. So I wonder what you think about this, in
about
terms of the contrast and in terms of the trap of humility as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I think about it is that, or what I see, to be totally honest, is that there's this, I hate to call it out on age, but it's really true. In Finland, if you're 30 or under, you're not falling into that trap. You're not going there. Yeah, it's just not possible. There's this exposure that you've had to the outer world and to other cultures and mixing amongst each other, and you are literally, if you're under 30, you are blended in Finland, way beyond your parents' dreams or nightmares. And, and that trap just isn't gonna fly. It's just not gonna hold. I do see it. I do see it for people my age, you know, the ancient ones way beyond 30, way up the scale. I see them struggling with it. I see them excited that that kind of a trap is gonna maybe fall away, that there is a falseness to the humility, that it's actually not a balancing point. It's more of like a hole in the ground that they've been kept in. Yeah, and in my opinion, the real humility that I see sort of in my age group is around the ones that maybe they feel a bit burned and they didn't get the 30-year career that they thought they were going to. And so they're reaching across that age barrier to the younger ones, and they're saying, you are gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I have no idea how you're gonna do it, but you're gonna do it, and it's gonna be so great. And that to me is really important, and that's happening a lot more than people realize. I think it takes a lot of courage to open your eyes and take a look at where that kind of crossing over and blending, crossing over the lines. Like there's all these identity lines, and there's the way that younger Finnish people are crossing over that and saying, that's not me. I find that really exciting, yeah.
We need to start wrapping up. We can take a last question if somebody has. Then I'm wrapping.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your questions and your patience and attention.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Therese.